I'm back with another one. This time I'm talking about the school closures on April 8th for this total solar eclipse that's on the way. And I've never ever heard of schools closing just because the moon is going to be blocking out the sun. I've been in school in the past when we've had eclipse and class was in session. There was never a no school day just because of the sun is going to be blocked out. So I'm wondering why all of a sudden this particular eclipse on April 8th, certain states are closing schools. It's definitely something that stands out there like a one-off because we've never had this. And I know some of the reasons they're saying people are going to be traveling from certain states to the states where you'll be able to see the total eclipse as one of the reasons. They're expecting millions to travel. Certain hotels and Airbnbs are expecting people to pay to stay overnight so they can get there before the 8th and then witness the eclipse that day. There's also this thing where the next one is in 20 years in 2044. So some people maybe have a fear of missing out. So all of that adds to the hysteria and the craziness around Monday, April 8th. Are your kids in one of the states that the schools are going to be closed? I'm going to run those down too. The states that are in the path of the eclipse and that may be closing. If you live in one of those states, you have Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. A little bit of Tennessee and Michigan, small parts of that. They'll all be able to see the total solar eclipse. And so, if you're in one of those states, are be on the lookout just in case your child has a school closing. I know I heard in DeKalb County in the state of Georgia, which isn't even in the path of the eclipse, their parents upset that they have to pay for daycare because they're closing schools in that county. And I guess maybe because people in Georgia may be traveling to one of these states to see the eclipse, DeKalb County has announced school closures. And then some of the schools that have closed, these are the states here. So I scroll down. You have Texas with the Hayes County School District closing schools. Texas is on the list. Indiana is closing schools. Those are some of the schools there. It's a lot. So Indiana is in there. Keep going. Ohio, they're closing schools all Monday, April 8th. These are the different school districts in Ohio. Keep going to the next state. New York. New York is closing schools. They don't have the list here, but Central and Western New York, they're slated to close schools for April 8th. Pennsylvania, closing schools as well. Vermont on this list, school closures, grammar schools, high schools, colleges. This is interesting here. And they said some are going to run activities about the eclipse online just to educate kids about it. Let me see what other states. Just those so far. It could be others that announce closures as we get closer to that date. So if you have kids in school or if you're in college, be on the lookout just in case it's no class on Monday, April 8th, which is definitely something that's not been done. Not exactly sure why this eclipse is so important where they want to close schools. Makes you feel like it may be something else behind it or at hand. I mean, I understand the next one is not for another 20 years, but to close schools just because certain people want to travel across state lines to be in the path of where the sun is being blocked out so they can look at it in person. Maybe that's part of it. So many, they're expecting millions of people to actually travel for this event. So it's kind of a big deal for that weekend. I've just never seen them close schools. And the reason I know they've also cited things as safety precautions for whatever reason. So you have a lot of that going around. I've also heard some things where they wanted people to stock up on food supplies, groceries. Uh, Counties in Texas, they're talking about disaster declarations in advance and warning people to stock up on food and gas. I don't know where that's coming from and what they are expecting to want people to get food in advance. Almost sounds like coronavirus type deals with the COVID pandemic, asking people to stock up on what they have at home, food, water, and this time they're including gas. Schools closing because of safety concerns. So I know there's never been any reports of violence in the past when it comes to an eclipse, and so now this one, for some other reason, is bringing out all of those fears. And then I've also heard different people on the internet, in particular on YouTube, a lot of religious channels. They're even saying it's a sign of the end of the world, quoting Revelation scriptures. So you got that part of it as well. So that all adds to the hysteria and people being worried about it when you add that religious aspect into it. But I would just say, just play it cool. If you at home that day, just stay at home. You have to go out to your job that day. Do your regular routine. Be on the lookout if your child's school is closed. Uh, if that's a regular off day for you on a Monday, then you straight. If you work from home, then you straight as well on that Monday, and just sit back and see. Don't rush to conclusions. I mean, I guess if you want to get some extra food, just kind of see what the sense of urgency is in your state. You know, I'm not traveling anywhere to try and see the eclipse. I'm good on that. Never have in the past. And so we'll see what goes down. It's definitely different this time around. It's being covered uh, by so many different outlets on the internet, different news channels. Everybody's really gearing up for it. And I would say don't get caught up in all of the hype. Just listen to the information. This is how it looked back 12 years ago in 2012 on May 20th. So this is something similar to how it looked on Monday, April 8th. It's definitely something, it's a sight to see. But for it to cause this type of school closings and other type of fears of needing to get gas and food, this is a weird one. What may actually go on, or what they expect could go on, or suspect could go on, should I say, both. So as we get closer to that date, just more information will come out, and just read the environment around you. And are you worried about the eclipse? Have you heard about school closings and other things, safety concerns in your state? Especially if you're in the main states here that'll be affected by the eclipse that I mentioned. So, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I am out.